Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in the Sturmgeshutz. This model is the Stug 3F, so it doesn't have any additional armor. It's only got 50 millimeters of armor on the front. I think the sides are 30, the rear is 30. So it's not as strong as the other versions that have 80 on the front of the hull and additional side armor, which adds up to about 50. Plus spaced armor property values. So yeah, this one's not the best Stug, but it does have the good gun, the German long-barreled 75 millimeter. So it certainly makes up for that. You can see by the way the crew's lined up, there's three guys sitting behind one another and then one guy on the right, so it's kind of bad the way they're placed. If a shell goes in the left side of your tank, you're pretty much done. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the Sturmgeshutz. This was Germany's most produced tank of the war. This Sturmgeshutz was basically a converted Panzer III. Instead of putting the turret on top of the Panzer III hull, they just shoved a bigger gun inside and made it a tank destroyer. And the Sturmgeshutz was born. And this was actually one of the most, I think the most successful German tank in the war. It took out the most Allied tanks. It had several versions of it with several different types of guns. 75 millimeter howitzers, 75 long-barreled millimeter gun, like on this one, 105 millimeter howitzers. And there's several different types of armor thicknesses and variations as well. So driving through the thick mud here. She's not the fastest. This tank is not fully upgraded at the time of recording this video. I am actually grinding the Stug right now. But I had a couple good games to show you guys, so I will give you the video, but I do warn you that if you're wondering why the Stug's not performing, I don't have all the upgrades. So yeah, a couple things to talk about in addition to the Stug in this video. War Thunder just released helicopters and patch 1.81. So I'll have a lot of content coming from that patch, hopefully soon for you guys. But yeah, back to the game. Let's keep it relative. We're heading up the hill here. Our team has taken C. The enemy controls B, and A is uncontested at the moment. So we're just making our way towards the enemy spawn right now. We're being accompanied by two Allied tanks. And as you can see, this isn't the fastest tank for getting around, but it's not the slowest either. It's pretty average, to be honest. I like driving this tank. It's got a low profile, it's got a deadly gun, and it's got the history at its back, being one of the most successful German tanks in the war. The mass-produced, and knocked out the most enemy tanks. So. The Sturmgeshutz has a special place in my heart. Getting behind a rock here, trying to find some enemy targets. Weaknesses of this tank, probably the way the crew is positioned. Three guys sitting behind each other. If a shell goes in that side of the tank, you're probably going to be knocked out. There's a transmission in the front of the tank, as you can see, so any shot to the front of the tank will probably leave you immobilized. And it's not the fastest tank. It does have decent armor protection for like aircraft and smaller weapons, anti-aircraft guns, enemy aircraft, or some light tanks, but if you get hit, especially less than 500 meters away, by any real guns, like 50 millimeter or higher, it'll probably go through and do some pretty big damage to your tank. There's other models of the Stug with 80 millimeters of armor on the front and Schutzen side armor, but this isn't one of them. As we can see, we're going up a pretty steep hill here. No problem for the Sturmgeshutz. We're making our way towards A. That's the plan anyway. Because A is a high vantage point and could be useful. We can cap the point hopefully and overlook B as well. Sort of two birds with one stone. So we're making our way towards A. And we're choosing to take the paved road just to get a little extra speed. And we spot an enemy tank down there in the field just behind those tank traps. So we try to get a shot here. And it doesn't look like we have a shot. And we take the shot. We go right through the side of a KV-1 and knock the tank out. That's the capability of this gun. I mean, I know it was a flat side, but KV-1's a heavily armored tank, and the side of a KV-1, including the tracks, can be 95 millimeters of armor, not including the angle. So it could be over 100 millimeters easily, depending on where you hit it. So yeah, no problem for this German gun. Long-barreled 75 millimeter. Relatively fast reload on the Sturmgeshutz. And we're making our way, we're following this road here. We're going to make our way around and do a bit of hill climbing. I ordered 2 packs for patch 1.81. I got the new Leopard. And I got the T55 AM. Oh, we just took a hit in the ass there. We're going to try and quickly reverse the tank. See if we can get a shot on the target. Looks like we can get a shot. Yep. Knocked him out. T34. And I was very surprised that his shot bounced off the rear of my tank. I'm not sure how that happened, but you saw it. You saw it here first. As I was saying earlier, I purchased the new Leopard A1A1 120mm Raumetall cannon and the T55 AM, as well as the Hind D Mi-24D helicopter. So hopefully I can bring you guys some videos with those particular vehicles soon, and I'm gonna try and do some more reviews and such of various vehicles. This particular variant of the Stug I would not recommend. I would say either go with the 3.0 battle rating Stug that has the howitzer and the extra armor, or go with the 4.0 battle rating Stug that's the same as this but with the extra armor. So we're heading to B here. Somebody's capping it right now, and it looks like there's a little Russian tank here. So we knock him out, and we're going to try and take B. Yeah, I actually wouldn't recommend this model of Stug because the battle rating for this one's 3.7. And you can get a better armored Stug with a howitzer at 3.0, or a better armored Stug with the same gun at 4.0. So I would actually recommend those tanks instead, and I will do a full comprehensive review on those tanks at some point in the future. I'm only going to review the tanks that I would actually recommend you drive. So even though this Stug is, you know, the Stug is special in my heart, this isn't my favorite variant, so I won't be doing a review on this particular model. As you can see, it's a close game. We're capturing B, and we captured C, and the enemy has taken A. So we just took B now, and we're in a pretty dirty little spot. We got the gun barrel lined up to shoot through this bomber, and we're just kind of waiting for a tank to roll by. trying to check our 6, see if we see anything. Yeah, I've got bushes all over this tank. I don't normally do that because I actually like the way the tanks look without bushes all over them, but yeah. I apologize for the bush. I think it was very clever the way these tank destroyers were manufactured in World War II. There was a need for a bigger gun in a tank. The 50mm cannon wasn't doing it for the Germans, but they couldn't fit that gun into the turret of the Panzer III, so they decided to shove it into the hull instead and just take the turret out altogether. And it was actually cheaper to produce these vehicles than it was to design a whole new one, which they did anyway. The Panzer IV. So we're going to move out here, it looks like. We're getting a bit bored of sitting around. So we're heading out, and hopefully this will give you an idea of the mobility of the Stug. You can see she gets up to 20 pretty good. And we're pushing up to 25 now. She slowly makes her way from 25 to 30. Bit of a struggle. And then, yeah, from 30 onward, and then whenever you turn, you lose a lot of speed as well. But she's pretty maneuverable, I'd say. We are heading down a bit of a downhill gradient right now, but I'd say all in all, she's pretty maneuverable. Once again, I will do a full comprehensive review on my favorite Stug models, but this particular one is not good enough. So we're making our way back to the spawn, and we're going to try and head up towards A. We're just taking a safer path. I don't like heading towards the enemy spawn because you're likely to get shot that way. It's safer to head back to your own base, especially when you're making long distance maneuvers like this across the map and your sides and rear could be exposed. But yeah, you can see the low profile of this tank. It's very effective. It certainly does not stand out. I'm going to see how good she can climb. And one thing I really like about War Thunder realistic battles is I think they really capture the essence of a tank battle, as much as it could be in a video game anyway, like keeping in mind that it's a video game and you want to have an element of enjoyability. I really like what they've done. I think they really nailed the tank battle perfectly. I'm very excited for helicopters to be included. I can't wait. I just learned how to fly my helicopter in realistic mode, and I just can't wait to shoot someone with it. I shot down my first helicopter today as well. It was perfect. He was flying over my T-55 and I just gunned them down. So yeah, if you're a War Thunder player, there's lots to look forward to. They're constantly working on this game. The developers are really cool. They're Russian, so I would expect nothing less but a cool character. I feel like Russians and Canadians are related in a way. We both have similar landscapes. The hard north, the harsh terrain, big landscapes, you know what I mean? Just the geography, the environmental aspects are very similar. I like Russia a lot. Anyway, we're making our way towards the A point here. Hopefully we can get there before our teammate captures it. As you can see, the Stug is pretty maneuverable. And we're doing okay this game. We've got 3 kills and 1 zone captured. And this will be 2 if we make it in here. You can see an enemy plane just tried to take out our tank there, but failed horribly and crashed into the ground as he was shot down by the Chaffee. So we make our way in here, and we do get a cap. Nice. And there's the Panzer III J1. If you take a look at that Panzer III J1, it's the exact same as this tank. That's the hull that it's modeled after. They basically just... oh. And here, we're going to see if we can spot anyone on the bridge. It doesn't look like anyone's there. Anyway, we came second. That's the end of that game. 3 targets killed, 2 zones captured. Second place on the team, and we won that game. So now we're on to another game I have for you, Realistic Battles on the Jungle map. And this is another domination game with the A, B, and C point. And this happens sometimes to me. I have to wait for the data from the server, which is annoying because I know people are playing the game and I'm just waiting and waiting, and they're heading towards the spawn point to cap, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm not the only one, it appears. Anyway, there it is, the Stug 3F 3.7. If you do take this tank out and you want to leave the ammo racks in the right way, I think 21 shells is appropriate. That'll leave a couple of those racks empty and you'll be less likely to pop. So, we're heading to C. It's early days on the tropical map. And it's a relatively small game, 6 versus 6. I think it was late at night when I recorded this video. Not a lot of people were on the server. Taking a quick look with our binoculars, and this is a safe thing to do if you're worried about getting shot. You can hide behind a hill and look over the hill with your binoculars but not actually expose your tank. So that's a classic trick if you didn't already know that. Heading towards C. You can see our allies are already capping the zone. The enemy has B. We're going to see if we can get up into this little crevice, and we're probably going to do the binocular trick again. Yes, we are. Nothing to see here. Just lovely palm trees. And this tank destroyer is not easy to spot if you put it in the right position. A shady spot like this. But not today, we're going to move out. One nice thing about the Stug is it is maneuverable. It's certainly not the fastest tank in the game, but it is capable of relocating effectively. And we're pretty indecisive at the start of games. That's normal. I like to wait for my team to sort of position themselves before I make a play. So we're inching forward, trying to spot our first target. And an ASU-57 has taken out a fellow tank, so we're going to try and get a shot on him if we can. It looks like he's been taken out there. We did have a shot on the tank, but he was taken out by a friendly Chafee before we could get the shot there. There's a T-34 over there as well that we didn't spot until she burned up. So we're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on here with our binoculars early game. Not bad reverse speed on this tank, certainly not the greatest. But I mean, it's not Cromwell-esque. If you don't know, the Cromwell only has 3 kilometers an hour reverse speed. It's really bad. So we're just scoping out the area. We don't want to do anything stupid here. And we can see on the map that our team's advancing up the right coast of the beach. So we're going to make a play here. See if we can move up with our team. Still nothing to see. Checking for planes. There is no MG on this Stug, unfortunately. It's just a gun. So we're heading over here. Excuse me. We're moving up the beach, and all of a sudden, on our left, we don't see anything. So we're going to go through the water. A's uncontested. And we're getting into some deep wading here. But the Stug is powering through, keeping a steady 14. No sign of targets. We're going to keep her lit. Wading through some more water. Just going to stop and have a look around. Moment of peace as the birds are chirping in the distance. The quiet hum of the Stug's engine is ready to go again. Not a whole lot of action so far. There's only 4 tanks left on our team. So nobody's really wanting to make a move too fast. Everyone's sort of waiting for the other player to make a move. It's one of those tense games. The hostile team has just made a play here. They're capturing the second zone. It's up to us now. We've got to do something. I've decided to advance. Checking our left. We're not sure what the heck's going on. They could be anywhere. Coming up over this berm here. Still don't see anything. Oh, there. Enemy tank with his ass turned. This is an easy kill. We're coming up. We're lining him up. He's gone. Enemy T-28 knocked out. I think we're going to make a play here. We know they're capturing. They've got 2 points and we've only got 1, so we're making a play. We're gonna run for B. We're exposing our tank a lot here, but we're gonna run for it. We've got to do something. We're losing our health bar at the top. If the enemy gets our blue bar down to nothing, they win. So we're losing points fast here. We got to move it in. Tickets, they're called. We're losing tickets. So I know there's a tank on the right because he's knocked out my friend. But I know I've got to capture this zone, so we decide to move in and cap. We'll swing the tank around and hope we can get a shot on him. So we got the tank position now. And we're just going to hope that we can kill the enemy and cap the zone. Still don't see anything. He's calling an artillery strike in on us. Still nothing. There. Enemy tank. He bounced. No, he went through, but he didn't take out enough. We go right through his side, knocking him out. He went through, but he didn't shoot the right side of the tank. He shot the side with just 1 crew member on it. He didn't shoot the left side with the 3 crew members, so we just lost 1 guy. And we're still in the fight. And now they're losing tickets. But the enemy team's capturing Zone A. They're calling in artillery on us. We're going to try and hold this position. The game's really close now. I wish our teammate at C would come and help me. But it doesn't look like he does. It doesn't look like he's going to do it. They've captured Zone A now. Artillery's coming in. And we have no idea where these enemies are going to come from. And oh my god, there's one right there. Bang. We broke his hull. BT7 there. Completely broke his hull. Oh, someone just shot the rear of our tank. He's trying to swing her around. Can we swing her around in time? Oh god, we're stuck. Oh no. There we go. And we're down. 1 zone captured, 3 ground targets destroyed. We're going to try and come in an airplane here and drop a bomb on that guy who killed us. That's usually the plan, but unfortunately, look how close the game is. And we're so far out here, I don't even think we're going to make it in time. It's a shame, too. If only our teammates could have done something to make the game go on a bit longer, but unfortunately, nobody made the play, and our tickets are just counting down here. Yeah. Oh well, that was a good game. Hopefully, you guys got a feel for how I play and how I think, and hopefully, it can help you if you're wondering for tips. War Thunder is a really good game, especially if you're into this kind of stuff. It's certainly the best game in my opinion. We were trying to drop a 2,000 kilogram bomb on this guy's head, but it just wasn't to be. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.